Good evening. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Lakewood City Council, February 13th, 2017, 7 p.m. in Chambers. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Hall.
Here.
Coop.
Here.
Wickman. Gutwein.
Here.
Franks.
Here.
Harrison.
Here.
Royball.
Here.
Vincent.
Here.
Abel.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Shakti.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome everybody who's made it out this evening, and thank you for participating in your local government, and to those who may be tuning in online or via KLTV Channel 8. If you do have a cell phone, would you mind putting it on silent? And we're going to move into the Pledge of Allegiance, and I have three young gentlemen that are going to come down, and while they're coming down, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, so we'll all rise for that. And as we're standing for a moment of silent prayer, I'd like to ask that you'd please remember the Lakewood Police Department in your thoughts and prayers during this time as they're having some challenging issues, please. Welcome. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Gentlemen, before you run off, we're going to make you introduce yourself. Come on down. Just let us know who you are and what school you go to. You can jump right up here to the microphone. Sorry.
I am Jack Cremona from Lakewood, and I am an 8th grader at Our Lady of Fatima, Troop 166.
All right. Welcome.
I am Mike Cremona from Lakewood. I go to Lakewood High School, and I'm also a member of Troop 166.
Great. Well, thank you for coming out. And I imagine that's your little brother up there who came and led us in the pledge not too long ago, right? All right. Cool. Thank you. All right. So next up on our agenda, we have public comment. Public comment is an opportunity where the public is invited to address the city council on items that did not appear on the agenda. All comments should be directed to the city council. I ask that all in attendance observe the decorum of the city council chambers and refrain from applause or audible support or discord with the speaker. There is a 3-minute time limit on conversation this evening, and this little box here will glow green, and then when you have 30 seconds left, yellow. When your time's up, red. I'll politely try to wrap you up after that. And again, this is for non-agenda items, and when we get to the consent agenda, we do have a resolution that will allow for public comment, and there's 2 items of interest that are actual for first reading or rezoning, and those will have public comment at the date set forth tonight. So with that, I will call Mr. Richard Bryant. Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Just one page. Just turned 82 last month. Had my annual physical last month also. Doctor says I'm good for 10 more years, so I'll be back again. Joe and I have been in the O'Kane Park neighborhood now for over 14 years. We really like the quiet, semi-rural feel of the neighborhood. Things have changed in 14 years. First Avenue now is like Wadsworth Boulevard was, and Wadsworth is like 6th Avenue is. The previous administration wanted growth, and they got their wish. The unintended consequence is now apparent. We're crowded. We wait in lines everywhere. King Soopers. I go to the post office regularly, and that's bad. Traffic is the worst. I would suggest that the Federal Horseshoe being stopped appears now to be a good idea. thanks to Councilman Weichman's efforts and others. Maybe it is time to take a breath before more and more housing creates more wait lines and more congestion. Suggestions: more recycle centers, please. Ward 5 should be next because it would be the furthest from the Ward 1. Look at implementing the ACIC recommendation of changing the initiative and referendum section in the charter from 3 and 5% to 10 and 10%. This would match most other metro cities' numbers. Please vote yourselves a pay raise, at least double current numbers. Your hours would make this reasonable. And lastly, the Coops and the city and Ward 2, 16 years of their lives, much to our benefit. Their dedication, knowledge, accessibility, and good nature, he can be very funny, have helped us all. I wish he could run again. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations on your bill of good health. We look forward to seeing you for another decade. Ms. Slater? Good evening. Welcome.
Afternoon, evening. I'm Linda Slater, and this is not on your agenda tonight, but I know you've had some of this this matter on your agenda before. I would just like to urge all of the council to consider voting for more housing, affordable housing projects in Lakewood. Many young people, including my daughters, are considering leaving the city or the area because they can't find a reasonable place to rent. And as you know, the price on everything has gone up. My husband and I, our first house that we bought was $16,000. And now I look in the paper and that same little house looks like it's about $300,000 or $400,000 or maybe more. I just think that the working poor don't have much choice. And also, I called to find out if there were any available housing on the Section 8. And right now in Jefferson County, 0. So I know some people that have applied, but they're on a waiting list. So anyway, it's just something that really will affect all of us in the years to come, and is affecting us now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And unfortunately, I think that list is around 4,000 people deep with Metro West Housing. Yeah. So that is all the folks who have signed up to speak. Anybody else in chambers? All right. Seeing none, I will close public comment. And I'll just add my comment to that, Ms. Slater. I don't think you're alone by any means, and it's something that's quite challenging for the whole metro area. We learned last Monday night on kind of our brief synopsis of this housing study that low income in the city of Lakewood, low income is considered $69,000. So, no, I apologize, $49,000. But still, $49,000, that's to be low income. So, all right. Moving right along, consent agenda. The use of the consent agenda has been made to expedite council action. It contains both resolutions and first reading ordinances. Resolutions are items of a routine nature. Members of the public will have an opportunity in a moment to comment on any of the proposed ordinance resolutions. That would be item 5. First reading ordinances appear on the agenda only for the purpose of setting future public hearing dates and ordering the newspaper publication of the proposed ordinance. No public comments will be heard this evening on first reading ordinances. The public will have the opportunity to comment on the proposed ordinances during the scheduled public hearing on the date set tonight by City Council. Any council member may request an item on the consent agenda be removed for separate discussion and action under general business. Will the clerk please read the items into the record?
The consent agenda consists of items 5 through 9 inclusive. Item 5, Resolution 2017-10, establishing projects and project funding levels for the 2017 Capital Improvement and Preservation Program, CIPP, Neighborhood Participation Program. Item 6, Ordinance O 2017-3, to rezone land located at 6000 West Jewel Avenue, Lakewood, Colorado, 80227, County of Jefferson, State of Colorado. Zoning case RZ-16-002, Heitler rezoning north. Item 7, Ordinance O 2017-4, to rezone land located at 6000 West Jewel Avenue, Lakewood, Colorado, 80227, County of Jefferson, State of Colorado. Zoning case RZ-16-003, Heitler rezoning south. Item 8, approving the minutes of a special city council meeting of January 9th, 2017. And item 9, accepting the minutes of the Advisory Commission for Inclusive Communities Executive Committee meeting of December 7th and full commission meeting of November 16th, both 2016, and minutes from the Lakewood Planning Commission meeting of January 11th, 2017.
Thank you very much. I will now open public comment on Resolution 2017-10. Nobody has signed up to speak. Seeing none, I will close public comment and ask for a motion on the consent agenda.
Mayor Paul, I move the approval of the council minutes for acceptance of the minutes of boards and commissions. Order all ordinances introduced on first reading to be published in the Denver Post with public hearing set for the date included in the ordinance and for adoption of resolution of all which are included in the consent agenda, items introduced into the record by the city clerk.
Second.
Right. Thank you. There's a motion and a second. And any discussion? I'll highlight real quick the projects that are in the resolution for the Neighborhood Participation Grant Program, which is open to anybody in this room, any neighborhood in the city of Lakewood. Total is $160,000 this year with a project at O'Kane with bike racks, a free little library at Morningstar, and a dog waste station. 4 benches and recycling containers at Addenbrook, art sculpture at Walker Branch, sidewalk connection on Robb Street between 18th and 19th, community garden at Foothills Elementary, and a horseshoe pit and 2 benches at Ritchie Park, and another little free library at Lockmore Park. So that's the list. Any comments, questions? Seeing none. Motion and second. Please cast your votes. And that passes 11 ayes, 0 nays. All right, next up, will the clerk please read item 10 into the record?
Item 10, Ordinance O 2017-1, establishing, ratifying a city council board to be known as the Legislative Committee and appointing members thereto.
All right, and so Council President Roy Ball, could you please?
Mayor Paul, I move for the adoption of Ordinance 0-2017-1.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second, and my apologies, I didn't open a public hearing. Is there anybody in chambers who wishes to speak on this ordinance? All right, seeing none, I will close that. We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from council? Seeing none, please cast your votes. All right. And that passes 11 ayes, 0 nays, and that is for the ratification of the Council Legislative Committee, which is chaired by Councilor Johnson, and members on it are Councilor Shakti, Councilor Vincent, Councilor Franks, and Councilor Gutwein. Yeah? Okay. All right, will the clerk please read item 11 into the record?
Item 11, Ordinance O 2017-2, vacating a portion of West Alameda Avenue right-of-way.
Right, I'll now open the public hearing on Ordinance 2017-2. Nobody's signed up to speak. Anybody in chambers wish to speak? Seeing none, I will close public comment. Council President Roybal, can I have a motion, please?
Yes, Mayor Paul, I move for the adoption of ordinance 0-2017-2.
Motion-
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes. And that carries 11 ayes, 0 nays. And Mr. Driver, seems like you can jump out of here now. Probably thought you'd be here all night, huh? All right. That's what we do sometimes. Sometimes we keep you here. Sometimes we don't. I see Amara smiling. All right. Item 12 is general business, Ms. Hodson. Or I'm sorry, executive report. Is there any general business? Seeing none, Ms. Hodson, executive report.
Thank you. Just a couple of announcements. After almost 20 years of service, the county manager, Ralph Schell, is retiring. And I personally have worked with him for all of those years. He was the open space director for the county. And then that's when I was the Parks and Rec director for Lakewood. I was promoted to city manager in 2009, and 2 months later, he was promoted to county manager. So I worked hand in hand with this gentleman, and his last day is March 3rd. And I just want to recognize him. He did a great service for the county, and a real caring individual. The good news is he has a lovely family and new grandbabies, so he gets to enjoy the second part of his life. So I'd like to congratulate Ralph Schell and thank him for his service to the community and to the county. Having said that, the county commissioners have made a decision about the new county manager, and his name is Colonel Donald J. Davis, and he's been named as the new Jefferson County manager. I've had the opportunity to meet with him in person and on the phone several times. And let me tell you a little bit about him. Let me find him first. He has had a long career in the United States Marine Corps, where he served in various roles, including most recently as Chief of Strategy and Campaign Plans for NORAD and U.S. Northcom based in Colorado Springs. He's enjoyed 27 years of service for our country, and he looks forward to working for Jefferson County. He is married with several children. He has 4 kids, and he's a really nice guy, and I'm anxious for him to come and to meet you. Now, he has to go through a process called, I think, decommissioning, and that takes at least 60 days. So in the interim, Kate McIntyre will be the county manager. So if there are any questions that you might have as it relates to the county and you'd like some contact, work through me, please, and I'll just contact Kate and until we've got the formal colonel in place. So on behalf of the city, I'd like to congratulate Don Davis and welcome him to the county. The final thing I just wanted to mention, and the mayor alluded to this early, and that is we have experienced a sudden loss of a long-term tenured police agent. And that has been a real tragic event for our city and for our police department. So, I just want to ask you for your support, thoughts and prayers for all of the members of our police department, because we lost one of our own, and that's always really tough. So, services have not been announced yet, but I'll make sure each of you know about that when those are available. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hodson, and we appreciate it. It's not only the police department, but the city of Lakewood as a family. And, for somebody like yourself, you and Ralph started at the same time. He's leaving. We're not going to let you leave. So don't think, I hope you didn't get any ideas about a retirement party while you were there tonight. So
Actually, it looked kind of fun and promising. Someday. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. All right, so we'll go to just council reports. We have our annual planning retreat this Saturday, starting at 8 a.m. at the Heritage Center. Yes, and that'll be from 8 to 4, so the public is welcome at that. And we look forward to commencing with that and having good conversation and some good education in the morning part of that. We heard a little bit tonight about traffic congestion, and on a lot of citizen surveys you'll see throughout the metro area, that's a big concern. And I am a member of the Metro Mayors Caucus. It's 41 mayors throughout the metro area. And we are currently working to encourage our state legislators to put a referred measure on the ballot that would create some new transportation funding. So I would encourage everybody here to take a look at it and to reach out to your state elected officials and talk about the importance of transportation, because it's critically important, and we continue to fall further and further behind. And that's all I have. Mayor Pro Tem Harrison.
No report.
Council President Roybal.
No report.
Starm, all right. Mr. Coop, nothing. Councilor Wickman. Councilor Gutwein. Councilor Franks. Okay, go for it.
First and foremost, wanted to thank everybody who turned out at our Ward 4 meeting. We continue to have amazing turnout, very passionate citizens. Appreciate that. And the one ask I would have is for those of you who are not able to attend the meeting, we've heard that Saturday mornings are not ideal for people who have, soccer games and other things to go to. So we are currently soliciting feedback to determine what time to hold a second meeting in the month. And so please give us feedback. Is there a particular evening? Is it Saturday afternoons? Just give us that feedback. We want to continue to engage more and more people, and to do that, we now know that we need to find a second meeting time for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Vincent. Councilor Abel.
I'd like to second the city manager's fondness for Ralph Shell. As a former reporter, I covered the county, and more than once I was the butt of his humor. So he's a very good man and a very good manager, and I think Jeffco and all of the communities therein benefited from his leadership. So thanks a lot, Ralph.
Councilor Johnson.
No report.
Councilor Shakti.
There's a program called Cycling Without Age, if you Google it, and it's quite heartwarming. It's these bicycles that somebody rides the bike, and then on the front there's a place where a senior who can't ride a bike themselves can sit. And all over the world, it's something that communities have been trying. And Lakewood Bicycle Advisory Team and Eaton Senior Communities are partnering to try to make this happen. And so if you go to Eaton Senior Communities and make a donation and say it's for Cycling Without Age, they're trying to raise money for a bike. And our Sustainability Award, you can nominate people for our Sustainability Awards. And the deadline there is March 13th. And then this is not put on by the city, it's put on by Just Serve, but it's a volunteer fair that shows different organizations you can volunteer with. And that is from 9 to 11:30 on the 25th at 6465 Jewel Street.
Thank you very much. I will add one other thing. The Community Resources Master Plan survey opened up to the public today on the city website, and that's critically important for folks to take a look. And please give us your feedback to look at community resources as a whole. For folks who don't know, that's our parks and recs and all of those good things. So it's been a while and the city has changed, so to get folks' feedback is really important. Ms. Greer? Ms. Cox? Ms. Hodson? Wow. So with that, just again thank our police department and know that we're here for you. We care about you, and we will adjourn this meeting at 7:25 p.m. Woo!